Hey everybody, welcome to Sid's Little Corner of the Internet. We've got another Transformers review coming your way. This time around we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Rise of the Beasts Barricade. So this is their new Legion class, Legends class, whatever you want to call it, and it's called the Speed Series. So let's go ahead and bring that box in and take a look at that. So right up top you've got some nice artwork of Barricade and his face only a mother could love. There you have Rise of the Beasts. There's your big gaping hole. There's the artwork of him in his alt mode, which between the two modes is definitely my favorite here. You've got an Autobots Unite logo down there. There's Barricade, Transformers up the side, and there's your product shots. He converts in 6 steps. Speed Series. Over here on the back, you've got a whole lot of stuff if you want to read it. You've got your warnings down here, and you've got your sad baby. And baby's sad because, well, he thinks Barricade is really scary. Over here, you've got some nice artwork of Barricade, and then down low you have that information if you want to read it. So that is it for the box. Let's go ahead, and I would say let's go ahead and see what came inside the box, but it's not a lot. We're going to do it anyway. Let's go. Behold, laid out here before you is everything that came inside that box, and it wasn't a lot. I mean, this guy is the equivalent of a core class, Legion class, whatever you want to call him nowadays. So let's just run through it real quick. You get a sheet of instructions or a sheet of warnings, and then a really tiny sheet of instructions. So no accessories with this guy. So we're just going to jump right on in. We're going to just keep right on moving with this review. Frankly, there's not a lot to talk about here, but there are a few things to hit. So let's go ahead and bring him in and look at his details. Although he is ugly, I think they've done a fine job with that face and those red eyes. And then coming on down, taking a look at that chest. It's basically just the police car. A little bit of sculpt work down here in the crotch and the upper leg area. You do have a big spot right here where you can use some effects. And then essentially those legs are the back of the police car. And then you've got these little tiny feet down here. They do an admirable job though, so nothing major. There are the arms, so you can see there is some sculpt work in the arms right there. And then turning him to the side, there is his side profile. And then from the back, there is his back profile. All right, so articulation is nothing really to write home about. Arms are on a ball joint, hips are on a ball joint, and then you've got feet down here. So let's run through it real quick. Because they're on a ball joint, you can bring them down that far, bring them up that far, bring them all the way around, and then there's just nothing else at the arms. The hips, that was part of the transformation, that's not articulation. The hips, you can bring them out, give or take that far, and then you can kick forward that far, kick backward that far, and at the knee joint, because well, that's how he transforms, you can fold this all the way in. All right, and then coming down to the feet, you get forward that far, you get backward that far, and that pretty much sums it up as far as articulation goes. So you gotta work a little bit to get this guy on the right balance, but once you do, he's perfectly fine. So really nothing else to talk about here other than just getting him transformed into his alt mode, which between the two, certainly my favorite. So transformation, as you may expect, is pretty simple. You're just going to take these legs right here, you're going to pin them together, and then you're just going to take these feet, and then you're going to bring these feet back so they're like that. And now you can fold these legs up, just tuck the feet underneath the bar lights, the emergency lights, and then bring those up, and then you've got the top of the car finished. Take the hood, flip the hood up, just like that. You're going to rotate these arms around 180 degrees, and then on these joints right here, you're just going to push them in like that, and then give everything a squeeze, and it all comes together, and voila, he is a pretty decent looking little car. So again, not really going to make a separate segment for this part. We're just going to jump right into it and talk about the details on the police car. I do like this. I think it's a good looking little car. No mushroom pegs, so I'm really happy about that. But let's go ahead and start right up here at the front. So you've got that windshield, and you've got that hood with some, looks to be some scoops in there, which is pretty cool. And then coming down to that grill, and then you've got a nice big front air dam. So he's kind of sporty looking. It's almost like a retro, sporty, modern kind of car, almost like a it's a coupe as well, but it kind of reminds me of like a Fox body Mustang. So like those mid 80s Mustangs, kind of like with that back here behind the window. It's just reminiscent of that to me. And there he is from the side. Looks pretty good. And from the back, you even get tail lights, so I do appreciate that very much. And then over here on this side, there you go. And here he is from the top, all finished. Here he is from the bottom. So yeah, I mean, he's pretty cool. So, you know, you can, we're just going to grab a blast effect here real quick. And you can plug a blast effect in. And boom, boom, there you go. He's taking off. So, oh, he didn't get all the way to frame. There you go, that's better. So, there you go. All right, so now that we've gone over the details and the transformation, let's go ahead and just do a couple of real quick comparisons here and in this mode, and then we'll move on. For our first alt mode comparison, here we see Barricade hanging out with his nemesis. This is the Legion class Bumblebee figure that came from that 2007 original Bayverse movie. And for our second and final alt mode comparison, here we see Barricade hanging out with Barricade. This is the figure that we have from the Studio Series that was part of that buzzworthy Bumblebee 2-pack. And for those of you who've seen my older reviews, you know that I have one of these bumpers that doesn't want to stay in. So there you go. That's it for the alt mode comparisons. Let's get him transformed and we'll do some bot mode comparisons. As you may expect, transformation is pretty simple, so we're just going to reverse the process here. We're going to grab those big arm car sides and just give those a pull and bring those out just like that. Do the same thing over here, and I'm going to proactively rotate them 180 degrees. And then I'm going to come back here. I'm just going to grab this right here, pull on that, bring those legs down, give those legs a split, pull those little feet down. And now all I need to do is take this hood, bring that hood down, and voila, we have Barricade back into his bot mode. For our first bot mode comparison, here we see Barricade next to his old nemesis again. This is that Legion class Bumblebee from that 2007 Bayverse movie. And yeah, I mean, the scale's dead on here. So these guys work pretty well together. Moving on to our next comparison, this is the Human Alliance Barricade. So not really a apples to apples comparison here, but hey, they're both Barricades, so why not? And for our final bot mode comparison, this is the Masterpiece movie series MPM Barricade, so you can see how those two guys look together. Alright, that's going to do it for comparisons, so let's jump into those final thoughts. So there we have the Transformers Rise of the Beasts Speed Series Autobots Unite Barricade. And yeah, he's a cool little figure. I mean, this is a case of you get what you pay for. This is an inexpensive little figure that you can have a little bit of fun with, or you can give to a kid. The bot mode is fine. The alt mode is wonderful, really, for a figure this size, so no complaints there. Just a couple of real quick notes. I'm not going to go through my scoring system for this guy, but just a couple of real quick notes. Overall looks, I think the alt mode definitely wins here. It's really cool. It's kind of a Hot Wheels or a Matchbox sized car, and I really, really like the alt mode. The bot mode is fine, but I think I'm going to enjoy him more in his alt mode for sure. I think it's pretty decent level of detail on both the modes, but the car mode is definitely my favorite. Moving on to the articulation, not much. I mean, you pretty much what you see is what you get. You got some ball joints. You can do what you want there with it, but this is not the kind of figure you're going to use with real dynamic posing anyway. This is just a simple little figure meant to get played with. So not really going to have much of a shelf presence and any kind of incredible dynamic poses on your shelf. So articulation is what it is. No accessories at all, so we don't even really need to talk about that. Again, this is just the equivalent of a core class figure. Overall quality is pretty good. I don't have any issues with this guy. All of his joints are tight. I don't like the fact that they use ball joints, but hey, at least the ball joints that they're using are tight on the figure. He looks good in both of his modes. I don't have any major issues with paint or with the molding, anything like that. So overall quality is pretty good. And then our last bullet here, just overall value. Again, this is a case of what you pay, what you get what you pay for. So I picked this figure up for $6 US at a local Walmart. He's kind of cool. I didn't have any problem picking him up for $6. I think there's some value there, and I think that these are great starters for kids. If you want to get them started young with Transformers, I think this is a good one to pick up. And even for adults, this is kind of fun to just play with for a little while and enjoy. So that's it. That's going to wrap up the review. I hope you guys got some good information. I hope you got some entertainment out of this. And if you haven't already done so, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Leave a comment if you feel like it. And one last favor, if you know of anyone that would like this video or like what we do at this channel, please share the video with them. Share our channel with them. It's always fun to see the community grow and to be able to talk with everybody. So with that, that's going to wrap it up. Until we see you guys in the next review, take care.